I think most people have tried online dating by now. I remember my one and only time using an app almost ended in a legitimate nightmare. Everyone I knew was using Tinder. When I finally caved, I was at an all-time low mentally. The first few days, conversations went nowhere. Then I matched with Zoe. Before our conversation even went anywhere, I was already attracted to her based on her pictures alone. We started messaging on the app, then evolved into regular texting. There was an immediate connection between us, or at least I thought there was. I was just excited to finally be getting attention from someone. After a lot of small talk, I finally asked her out for drinks. With almost no hesitation, she accepted. That first date was probably my best experience with Zoe. From there, things only went downhill. After I dropped her off, she texted me right away, telling me how much fun she had and that she couldn't wait to see me again. Over the next week or so, we started going on more dates and hanging out at my apartment. Things were moving fast, but that was okay with me. I wasn't looking for my soulmate, just some fun. But I think there was a miscommunication somewhere. The first time I told her I already had plans, she lost her mind. She literally drove over to my apartment as I was getting ready to leave and forcibly put herself between the doorway and me. I ended up missing my plans because I spent way too long consoling her. She stayed over that night, and a few hours later she was talking sweetly and acting cute, like a different person. That night she kept telling me how cute our babies would be and how she couldn't wait to start a family with me. Obviously now I realize that's a glaring red flag. But at the time, I was an ignorant and lonely man and didn't understand how big of an issue that could be. Not a conversation after a week and a half. After that crazy night, I started waiting long periods between text responses. While she waited, she would send dozens of messages before I'd even respond. It was getting out of hand. A few nights later, I had to cancel plans because I got stuck at work. Just like before, she lost her temper again. Since I was at work, I couldn't really respond how I wanted to. Almost 2 hours after I canceled, she showed up outside my work. Thankfully, I work in a laboratory and the door stays locked. This didn't stop her from trying. She was pounding on the door trying to get it open. Finally, I went down there before some colleagues called the police. As soon as I walked out, she started hitting my chest. She was furious and shouting. I apologized and explained why she couldn't just show up here. I tried to end things, and the anger turned to sadness. I agreed to one more chance, but we needed to take things slower. She agreed and told me she wouldn't text me for the rest of the night until I texted her. I was not pleased when I had 33 missed text messages from her. I shook my head and went back to work, trying to figure out how to get myself out of this situation. That night, I got out late and went straight home. When I got to my bedroom, I noticed 2 dresser drawers were slightly ajar. That may not seem weird, but I'm freakishly OCD about drawers and cabinets being closed. Even though my door was locked and nobody has a key, it felt like someone had been there. My mind went right to Zoe. I texted her and asked what she did that night. She sent a picture of her with her parents playing cards. I tried to believe her, but my gut was telling me otherwise. All night I felt horrible. I kept hearing things in the apartment that made me think someone was in there. Even my cat, sitting on the edge of my bed, kept looking at the door like he was suspicious too. It was a rough night. The next morning, I woke up feeling sick. I decided to stay home and watch movies. I was texting Zoe throughout the day. She was surprisingly calm. I thought maybe our last conversation got through to her. That night at about 8 p.m., I was on the couch and got cold. I went into the bedroom to get a sweatshirt. When I turned on the light, I saw a person hiding under my bed in the reflection at the bottom of the mirror. Not just any person. It was Zoe. Her bright blonde hair was visible. She was calmly lying there. Instead of freaking out, I grabbed a sweatshirt from the back of the door, turned off the light, and left the room. I made sure the movie was playing loud enough, then quietly left the apartment. I went to the laundry room and called the police. Within minutes, they apprehended Zoe. She was still under the bed. The most horrific part? She had a huge knife. When the cops asked if she intended to use it, she said, "I don't think so. Maybe." I never saw her again. I don't know if anyone remembers the joy of dating in 2020, but it wasn't easy. I'm a social guy. I love going out and meeting people. When that wasn't an option, I felt like an animal trapped in a cage. As things started to open back up, a friend told me to give online dating another try. I downloaded Bumble. I met a lovely young woman by the name of Kelsey. At first glance, she looked legit. We were messaging a bunch, doing all the early small talk stuff. The first night we were messaging, Kelsey asked if I would ever be opposed to meeting at a later, more unconventional time. I had a feeling I knew what she was getting at, but I wanted her to say it. Finally, she did. She asked if I'd be okay meeting after midnight. Now, I'm no online dating expert, but if someone asks to meet at midnight, you assume it's an implied hookup. I started acting playful and flirtatious. After some spicy messages, she came clean. She was camping with her family at a local lake. She said she'd have to wait for her family to go to sleep so she could sneak out. Alarm bells started ringing. Why would a 26-year-old need to sneak out? She's old enough to make her own decisions. I was also a little tweaked out about meeting a random stranger at a dark lake at midnight. I started going through her pics again. She looked real. I checked social media. She had Facebook and Instagram. This girl was real. Once I decided she had a paper trail, I agreed to meet at the lake at 12:30. We continued messaging for hours until I got ready to leave. The lake was about 40 minutes from my house. While I was driving, Kelsey told me to park on the other side of the lake. She said it would be more private. The campgrounds were loaded with people. The other side of the park, the side that's closed, would be empty. Naturally, I was completely bought in at that point. When I was getting close, I texted her. She texted back saying she was walking over to that side of the lake and couldn't wait to see me. I got there a little after 12:30. I ignored all the signs that said no trespassing after dark. I was the only car in the massive parking lot. I drove to the end and parked under a tree for privacy. I texted Kelsey and told her I was getting out and walking toward the lake. She texted back, "I see you." I looked all around. I didn't see her. I started whispering her name. No response. She texted me asking how I couldn't see her. I was frustrated. We went back and forth for a few minutes. Then she told me to look to my right. I turned. A large figure came out from behind a tree, waved, and jumped back. Something was wrong. The figure was tall and extremely skinny. The polar opposite of Kelsey's photos. Before I could process, I got a message from Kelsey saying she was cold and needed me to warm her up. Instead of messaging back, I decided to call her. I heard a loud vibration coming from my other side, not in front of me. I looked to my right and saw nothing. Just darkness. I heard someone breathing in the darkness. I couldn't be sure. She sent another message, begging me to come over because she was getting sad. Every alarm bell was ringing. Without thinking, I turned around and sprinted back to my car. While I was running, the figure from the tree and another person ran out of the darkness and chased me. I had enough of a head start to make it to my car. I got inside and locked the door. I looked up through the windshield. The sight of these two running at me will haunt my dreams forever. The tall, skinny one was an older man with a patchy beard, his skin looking like it was melting off his bones. The other was a larger man, basically two of me, bald with a massive beard down to his chest. The large man was trying to open my door. The skinny guy was beating on my hood with a hammer. The larger man cracked my window with his fist. I didn't care anymore. I floored the car and nearly ran over the skinny man. I got the last message I'd ever received from the fake Kelsey. All it said was, "I know where you live." I was too afraid to go home. I called the police. They looked up Kelsey. She was a real person. Whoever these monsters were had stolen her identity. The real Kelsey made her profile private. The phone was already out of service. The dating profile was deleted. It's been about 6 years since that night. To my knowledge, these guys have not been caught. I didn't fully understand until that night, but now I know for sure that monsters are everywhere. And you really need to be careful, especially when you meet strangers online. 4 years ago, I moved to a new town for work. I was struggling, not financially, but in other ways. My whole life, I've struggled to meet people. Not just romantically, but even just friends. When I arrived, I realized quickly that the nights felt long and lonely with no friends or anything to do socially. My friend from back home told me to check out a dating app. I didn't love the idea. I'm not the greatest at texting, and building a relationship off a text conversation seemed impossible. But I finally gave in and downloaded several apps. A few weeks went by, and sadly it was rare for me to get a notification. I had given up on them until I got a notification from Tinder. I had matched with someone and received a message from a girl named Beth. She had this goth thing going on and I loved it. The only other girl I'd dated was also very goth. I guess I have a type. Something about her made it easy for me to text. She had a way of carrying the conversation that made it engaging. One thing I liked right away was that she didn't have social media. She called it the devil. I couldn't agree more. The few matches I got before her ended quickly when I said I didn't have Facebook. We set up a date and I was happy when Beth walked into the restaurant. She looked exactly like her pictures. The date was a success. After that, we went on a few more dates. It started to feel like this was heading into relationship status. After a few dates, I could say confidently that Beth was weird. And I don't mean that as an insult. I like weird. She was dark. At first, I assumed it was dark humor. Once I was completely head over heels, she suggested a different type of date. She asked if she could take me on a romantic moonlit hike through the woods to show me this cool spot that hardly anyone knew about. I hate the outdoors, but I would have done anything for Beth. I was expecting to go at nightfall, but she told me it had to be much later. I didn't understand why, but I agreed. That night, we hung out at my place until 1 a.m., and she said it was time to go. I was driving, and she was guiding me. The town was still new to me, so I had no idea where we were going. We had been driving for almost an hour. We were way out in the middle of nowhere, and she told me to pull over. I didn't have any service on my phone. I got out of the car, looking for a trail. Beth told me we weren't hiking a trail. She was taking me on a special path to a magical place in the woods. I wasn't thrilled, but I trusted Beth. We started walking through the woods. I had boots, jeans, and a zip-up sweatshirt, and I still found it difficult to walk at times. Beth was wearing a white dress and wooden sandals, the first time I'd seen her in anything not black. She wasn't struggling at all. While we were walking, she was talking about the weirdest things. I wasn't paying much attention because I was trying to focus on where I was stepping in the pitch black. The moon was bright, giving us some light. I kept asking how much further. She kept ignoring my question and just laughing. At one point, she shouted in excitement and made me jump. When I asked what happened, she turned around with joy in her eyes and told me to look. I expected a flower. Instead, Beth was holding a big snake that was slithering all over her hand and arm. I fell on my back. I told her I hated snakes. She kept playing with it and bringing it close to my face. Every time, I seized up. I asked her to let it go so we could continue. She laughed and finally let it free. She told me not to worry because we were almost there. We walked another minute or two and arrived at a large clearing. The moon was so bright, it wasn't that dark. Beth took off her sandals and started to dance and twirl around the clearing. I followed her, watching. While I watched, I wondered how long we'd have to stay there. She stopped abruptly and looked blankly into the forest. Before I could speak, she asked if I was ready. I didn't know what she meant. I was getting ready to answer when 3 other women burst out of the tree line with purpose. The shock caused me to fall over again. Before I got fully to my feet, they grabbed me and attempted to hold me down. I was in a full panic. Beth skipped to a rock and pulled out a beige cloth bag. It sounded like tools clinking inside. The women started to chant something. I don't know what, maybe Latin. I squirmed so much that the zipper on my sweatshirt was about to break. I gave it everything and pushed forward. By some miracle, I snapped the zipper and slid my arms out. The women fell back. I got up and ran blindly through the woods. I could hear them screaming behind me, not angry screams, but sad screams. I didn't care. I kept running. I eventually made it to a gas station, called the police, and got my car back. Beth was never found. Her number was fake. Her dating profile was deleted. It felt like she came out of nowhere to lure me into those woods. I still don't know what was in that bag. 3 online dating experiences. 3 nightmares. 3 times I came face to face with something I still can't fully explain. A woman who hid under my bed with a knife. 2 men who stole a girl's identity and chased me through the dark. And a woman who lured me into the woods for something I still don't understand. I've been lucky to survive all of them. The Zoe situation still haunts me. Not because she was violent, though she had that knife. Not because she broke into my apartment, though that was terrifying. It was the way she looked at me. Like I was something she owned. Something she couldn't let go of. That look stays with you. The feeling of being wanted too much is as scary as being unwanted at all. She hid under my bed for hours. Hours. While I slept. While I moved around my apartment. While I sat on the couch watching movies. And I had no idea. She was right there, waiting. What was she waiting for? What would have happened if I hadn't seen her in that mirror? If I had just gone to bed like normal? I don't think about that question too much. It keeps me up at night. The lake was different. That wasn't obsession. That was something else. 2 men who had stolen an innocent woman's identity. They spent time building a fake profile. They chatted with me. They flirted. They lured me to a dark, closed park at midnight. They were hunting. And I was the prey. The tall one with the hammer. The large one with a rose tattoo on his head. I can still see them running at me through the windshield. The way the large one cracked my window with his fist. The way the skinny one's skin looked like it was melting. They weren't just muggers. They were predators. And they had done this before. I'm sure of it. The message they sent still chills me. I know where you live. They could have followed me home. They could have found out where I lived. They could have come back. They didn't. Why? Were they scared off? Was it a bluff? Or did they just lose interest and move on to their next victim? I'll never know. And that's terrifying. Then there's Beth. The goth girl who walked through the woods in a white dress and wooden sandals without struggling. The woman who held a snake and laughed when I screamed. The woman who led me to a clearing where 3 other women were waiting. The woman who was about to do something to me with a bag full of tools. She had no social media. Her phone number was fake. Her profile disappeared as soon as I escaped. She was never real in any way that mattered. She was just a trap designed to lure someone, anyone, into those woods. I still don't know what was in that bag. I still don't know what they were planning. I still don't know why they sounded so sad when I ran. 3 different people. 3 different traps. 3 different ways the world tried to swallow me whole. And I survived all of them. Not because I'm clever. Not because I'm strong. Because I got lucky. Because I saw something in a mirror. Because I ran fast enough. Because my sweatshirt zipper snapped at exactly the right moment. But luck runs out. I know that now. Every close call is a reminder that the next time might be different. The next time I might not see the person under the bed. The next time I might not make it to my car. The next time I might not snap the zipper in time. The next time, I might not get away. I don't use dating apps anymore. I don't trust them. I don't trust strangers who seem too good to be true. I don't trust people who want to meet at midnight or in isolated places. I don't trust people who don't have social media. I don't trust anyone who asks too many questions about where I live or what I do. It's not paranoia. It's experience. There's a difference. Paranoia is fear without reason. Experience is fear with a memory attached. I've earned this fear. Every night I've spent checking my locks. Every morning I've woken up to a text from an unknown number. Every time I've looked over my shoulder. I've earned every second of it. I still sometimes get texts from unknown numbers. Just a single word, hi. I know it's Zoe. I know she's still out there. Still watching. Still waiting. I've changed my number. I've moved. I've done everything I can. But she always finds me. I don't know how. I don't want to know. I just know she's never going to stop. And the lake men? I still see them in parking lots sometimes. A tall skinny guy. A big bald guy. I freeze. I can't breathe. My heart pounds. And then I realize it's not them. It's just some random stranger. But for that moment, I'm back there. Running for my life. Feeling their breath on my neck. Knowing I almost didn't make it. 3 online dating experiences. 3 nightmares. 3 times I should have died. But I didn't. I survived. And I'm grateful for that. But I'm different now. Harder. Colder. More careful. I don't trust easily. I don't let people in. I don't take chances. Because I know now that the world is full of monsters. And some of them look just like the person you're falling in love with. So if you're reading this, please be careful. Trust your gut. And if something feels wrong, it probably is. Because I learned that lesson the hard way. And I'm lucky to be alive to tell you about it.